Hawkins, and today I'll be talking about multiple personality disorders. A personality disorder is a general term for a type of mental illness in which your way of thinking, perceiving situations, and relating to others are dysfunctional. There are many specific types of personality disorders. In general, having a personality disorder means you have a rigid and potentially self-destructive, denigrating pattern of thinking and behaving no matter what the situation. You are unaware or really don't care how your actions will affect those around you. There are certain types of signs or symptoms to having the personality disorder. There has yet to become just a determining factor on how you get this personality disorder, but they believe that if you're being brought up in these types of situations, you're more likely to have one, such as the upbringing, living where you live at, violence in the home, if you've been sexually abused, early problems, like problems in your childhood, when you show like anger and aggression, there's usually something behind it. Brain problems. Some people with antisocial personality disorder have very slight differences in the structure of their brain and the way some chemicals work in their brain as well. So that means certain type of medicines won't, if our medicines for our headaches, it won't do the same for them. It might alter their headaches and make their headaches into an anger type of thing or something. Some factors that make it worse are using a lot of drugs and alcohol, problems getting along with family or like a husband or wife, money problems, anxiety, depression, or other mental problems. Personality disorders are broken up into 3 different clusters, cluster A, B, and C. I'll now talk about the different type of clusters. Cluster A is called suspicion, which includes paranoid, which is very self-explanatory, sensitive to rejection, tend to hold grudges, feel that other people are being nasty towards you, even when evidence shows that it isn't true. Schizoid, emotionally cold, don't like to contact with other people, prefer your own company, and have a rich fantasy world. Excuse me. Schizotypal is the eccentric behavior, odd ideas, difficulty with thinking, and lack of emotion. Cluster B, emotional and impulsive, antisocial and dissocial. You don't care about the feelings of others. You tend to be aggressive. You commit crimes. Don't feel guilty. Don't learn from unpleasant experiences. It also includes, cluster B also includes borderline or emotionally unstable. You make relationships quickly but easily lose them. Can feel paranoid or depressed. When stressed, you may hear voices in your head. Histrionic, over-dramatized events, like you're extra dramatic. You can take the smallest thing and blow it up into the biggest event. You're very self-centered in cluster B, and you can be very seductive. Narcissistic, have a strong sense of your own self-importance, exploit others, ask for favors that you never return. Cluster C, anxious. You can be obsessive compulsive, worry and doubt a lot. You could be a perfectionist, rigid in what to do, judgmental, sensitive to criticism, and can have obsession thoughts and images. These are just 2 pictures that I feel like kind of describes like the puzzle is supposed to be, it represents how someone's brain with a personality disorder. It's not a full puzzle. That means something is missing. And this is just a picture of sometimes they feel different and they act out. They show despair, anger, and frustration. There are many different treatment methods. Counseling is one method. Talking and listening. This depends on a trusting relationship between the counselor and the person counseled. So you can't they don't just talk to everyone. They have to trust you and feel that what they're telling you will be kept just between you guys. It's also dynamic psychotherapy. Looks at how past experiences affect your present behavior. And that's what goes back to how the upbringing and the childhood experiences can play a part in having a personality disorder. A cognitive therapy, a way to change helpful patterns of thinking. Cognitive analytical therapy, a way to recognize and change unhelpful patterns in relationships and behavior. Another treatment method, that was just some treatment methods like therapy methods, psychological methods. I'm not going to give you some physical methods. Medication, of course. An antipsychotic drug is usually given at a low dose and can reduce the suspicion of the three cluster A, personality disorder, paranoid, schizoid, and psychotypal. So only in cluster A will they usually give out antipsychotic drugs, because it honestly really, the drugs only help so much. Also give out antidepressants. Antidepressants they give out in cluster B for your personality disorder to help you become more social and not feel so anxious when you're around everybody. This is a picture of someone with a narcissistic personality disorder. He sees himself, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's the light, but he sees himself as one thing, and then the mirror is reflecting of who he really is. So they see themselves as, we may perceive them as one way, but they always perceive themselves totally different than what we think of. A borderline, basically she feels like, this is supposed to be a picture of a girl, she feels like she has no face. She has no face, so that's the picture of a borderline. Paranoid, she sees everyone's around her and they're laughing at her, so she feels left out. There are many different personality disorders that people suffer from. Under certain circumstances, you are unaware that you even possess one. It's hard to determine on your own if you are truly suffering from a personality disorder. If you feel that some way my speech was referring to you and describing your personality, seek immediate help. Even though you have one of these disorders, does not necessarily mean you will not be able to live a normal, healthy life.